It is midnight in New York. Newsrooms are buzzing with anticipation and anxiety. The city that never sleeps now wide awake for a different reason. Editors huddle over glowing monitors, reporters type furiously, and the hum of urgent voices fills the air. Big screens flash, urgent headlines. China flexes, military might in South China Sea. The words are bold, the graphics dramatic, and the sense of urgency is unmistakable. Every update feels like it could change the world. Tensions high along Taiwan Strait. Maps light up with arrows and flashing borders. Anchors speak in grave tones, and viewers everywhere sense the gravity of the moment. World on edge as US and China trade threats. The rhetoric escalates, with leaders on both sides issuing warnings. The possibility of conflict feels closer than ever. The world holds its breath, waiting for the next move. Is war coming? Will the superpowers clash? Journalists scramble for sources, phones ring off the hook, and every rumor is chased down in real time. Analysts debate on live television, dissecting every statement, every maneuver, searching for clues in body language and official silence. Social media explodes with fear and speculation. Hashtags trend worldwide, and millions share their anxieties, theories, and hopes for peace. People everywhere feel the pressure. In subways, cafes, and living rooms, eyes are glued to screens, hearts pounding with uncertainty. The words conflict and crisis fill the airwaves. Radio hosts and podcasters scramble to keep up, their voices echoing the world's collective anxiety. It feels like the world is standing on a cliff's edge, holding its breath as dawn breaks. The streets are quiet, but the tension is palpable, hanging over cities like a storm cloud. But then, something strange happens. China's leaders do not give the order to attack. No missiles fly, no tanks roll. The military remains on alert, but the world's worst fears do not come to pass. The headlines stay at a simmer. The chaos in newsrooms fades to a tense calm, and the world waits for answers. The world exhales, but the tension stays. Relief is mixed with confusion. Why doesn't China strike? What holds them back at the brink? Why do they always seem to pull back at the last moment? What calculations are being made behind closed doors? The answer is not simple. It is a puzzle of politics, power, and patience, with pieces that shift every day. It lies in a secret strategy shaped by history, trade, and new kinds of power. To understand China's restraint, we must look deeper into the lessons of the past, the realities of global economics, and the evolving nature of influence in the modern world. Xi Jinping, China's leader, stands before the nation. He looks calm, composed, and resolute, his presence commanding attention from millions watching across the country. Every gesture, every word, is carefully chosen to project confidence and stability. He talks about strength, unity, and pride. He reminds the people of China's long history, its struggles, and its triumphs. He calls on citizens to stand together, to believe in the nation's destiny, and to work for a brighter future. But he also speaks of peaceful development and stability. He emphasizes that China's rise is not a threat, but an opportunity for the world. He assures both his people and the international community that China seeks harmony, not conflict. His message is clear: China does not want war. Not now, not tomorrow. He repeats this promise in speeches, interviews, and international forums, hoping to ease global anxieties about China's growing power. Xi's strategy is not about weakness. It is about patience and planning. War is risky. War is expensive. He knows that a single conflict could undo years of hard work and prosperity. War can destroy decades of progress. Xi knows this. He has seen how other nations have faltered after choosing violence over dialogue. For him, the true path to greatness is through steady growth and careful decision-making. He believes China can win more without fighting, if it plays the game right. By building alliances, negotiating smartly, and investing in the future, China can achieve its goals without firing a shot. Instead of launching attacks, China builds bridges with some countries and applies pressure on others. Diplomacy is his shield. He uses dialogue, trade, and influence to shape the world in China's favor, always seeking advantage without open confrontation. Economic power is his sword. Through trade, investment, and innovation, China extends its reach across continents. Its factories, ports, and markets become tools of influence, making China indispensable to the global economy. Xi explains that peaceful rise is the key to China's future. He wants the world to see China as a partner in progress, not a rival in conflict. He encourages cooperation in science, education, and technology. He wants China to be respected, not feared. He dreams of a nation admired for its achievements, its culture, and its contributions to humanity, rather than one that is isolated or distrusted. Xi's promise is not just words, he backs it with action. He travels the world, signs agreements, and oversees projects that connect China to every corner of the globe. He invests more in infrastructure, technology, and global trade than in bombs and bullets. His vision is to build, not to destroy, to innovate, not to intimidate. His secret: be powerful enough to scare, but calm enough not to attack. In this balance, Xi Jinping hopes to secure China's place in the world, strong and unshaken, for generations to come. China's leaders are obsessed with history. For them, the past is not just a collection of old stories, it's a living guidebook, a source of wisdom and warning that shapes every major decision they make today. They study ancient wars and lost empires, poring over the victories and defeats of dynasties long gone. They analyze the rise and fall of great powers, searching for patterns and lessons that might help them avoid the same fate. They know what happens when a nation overreaches, when ambition outpaces caution. History, for them, is a warning sign as much as a source of pride. In the 1800s, foreign powers invaded China, carving up its territory and humiliating its people. The country was forced to sign unequal treaties and lost control over its own destiny. It was a time of pain and loss when ordinary Chinese suffered under foreign rule and the nation's pride was shattered. Xi Jinping calls it the century of humiliation, a period that left deep scars on the national psyche and still echoes in the halls of power today. This memory shapes every decision. It's a constant reminder of what can happen if China appears weak or divided. China's leaders do not want to repeat old mistakes. They are determined to protect the nation's sovereignty at all costs. They know the cost of war, not just in territory lost, but in lives destroyed and families broken. They read about the fall of the Soviet Union, a superpower that collapsed almost overnight, and see it as a cautionary tale about internal weakness and external pressure. They see what happened to Iraq and Libya, nations torn apart by war and foreign intervention, their leaders toppled, their societies left in chaos. They decide, war is the last option, not the first. Every alternative must be explored before risking conflict. Ancient Chinese texts, like Sun Tzu's The Art of War, teach that the best way to win is to avoid fighting altogether. Outsmart your enemy, use strategy and patience, and victory can be achieved without bloodshed. Make them back down without a battle. Diplomacy, negotiation, and psychological advantage are prized above brute force. Xi and his team use these lessons every day, weaving ancient wisdom into modern policy, always mindful of the risks of miscalculation. China builds museums to honor these lessons. School children learn about them from a young age, absorbing the stories of struggle and resilience. The message is drilled home: stay strong, avoid war, and never let outsiders control China again. For China's leaders, history is not just the past, it's the foundation of their future. China is the world's factory. It makes phones, cars, clothes, and toys for almost every country. This trade is a weapon, but not a violent one. It is powerful because the world depends on it. If China went to war, factories would stop, ships would sit in ports, businesses everywhere would lose money, millions of jobs would vanish. China uses this fact to keep rivals in check. It reminds countries, we need each other. This is smart, not soft. Xi Jinping signs deals with Europe, Africa, and Latin America. He invests in roads, railways, and ports around the world. This is called the Belt and Road Initiative. It is not just about money, it is about building friendships and influence. When tensions rise, China can threaten to stop trade. It can block exports of rare materials. It can freeze deals. These actions hurt without a single shot fired. Xi prefers this to bombs and bullets. China is, racing to become a technology superpower. It pours money into research, startups, and innovation hubs. The goal is clear: lead the world in artificial intelligence, chips, and green energy. Technology is a new kind of weapon. China uses it to gather information, influence other countries, and protect itself. The world saw this with Huawei's 5G networks and TikTok's global reach. These tools are not just for business. They can shape what people see, hear, and think. When the United States tries to block China's tech, China pushes back. It builds its own chips and software. It trains a new generation of scientists. Xi Jinping calls this self-reliance. He wants China to be strong enough to stand alone, if needed. Tech wars are quiet, but fierce. Instead of fighting on battlefields, China fights in boardrooms and labs. It is a contest of brains, not bombs. When tensions flare in Hong Kong, the world watches. China moves quickly, but not with tanks. It uses new laws, police, and propaganda. It avoids open war, but keeps control. In the South China Sea, ships come close, but shots are rarely fired. China builds islands and puts up flags. It uses coast guards and fishing fleets, not armies. This creates facts on the ground, but stops short of battle. With Taiwan, the pressure is constant. China flies jets near the island. It talks tough, but it does not invade. Xi Jinping prefers slow, steady pressure to sudden war. He hopes to win over time, not in a single attack. These real moves show the strategy in action. China avoids military fights, but wins ground in other ways. The world must watch closely to see the real game. Every move China makes is risky. If it pushes too hard, rivals might unite against it. If it acts too soft, it could lose respect at home. Xi Jinping walks a tightrope, balancing danger and opportunity. Inside China, people want strength. They cheer for bold moves, but they also fear war. Memories of past suffering run deep. Xi must show confidence, but not start a fight he cannot win. Outside China, the world watches for mistakes. Allies and enemies read every signal. A wrong step could cause panic in markets. It could start a war no one wants. The stakes are huge: peace, prosperity, and global power. This high-wire act keeps the world tense. Xi knows one slip could change history. He bets on patience and pressure, not open conflict. Why does Xi Jinping avoid war? The reasons are clear. First, money. China's economy is its greatest strength. War would destroy factories, jobs, and growth. The government depends on a strong economy to stay in power. Second, image. China wants to be seen as a leader, not a bully. It hosts big events, invests in other countries, and talks about win-win solutions. War would ruin this image. It would scare away friends and investors. Third, power. Xi knows that real power today is about influence, not just armies. China uses its companies, technology, and culture to shape the world. It wants respect, not just fear. These motives drive every decision. War is too risky and too costly. The smart move is to win without fighting. China's secret strategy is not so secret after all. It is about patience, pressure, and smart power. Xi Jinping uses history, trade, and technology instead of guns and tanks. He shows the world that war is not the only way to win. Other countries can learn from this approach. Build your economy. Invest in technology. Make friends, not just enemies. Use history as a guide. Avoid costly mistakes. The stakes are high for everyone. The world is watching to see if China's strategy works. One thing is clear. In today's world, the best victories may be the ones won without a fight.